With the new year upon us, so many of us are setting fitness goals. I know I am. But oftentimes as the new year goes on, we don't actually commit to them because they're not attainable. So we're gonna talk through 3 ways to make fitness attainable all throughout the year. I'm Juli Bauer Roth, the food, fitness, and lifestyle blogger behind PaleOMG. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to share my favorite food, workout, and wellness tips to help you live your best damn life. Today, we're talking fitness. So the new year's upon us, but maybe you're watching this at a different time. So maybe the new year isn't upon us. Isn't always upon us. It's like always coming, right? Well, no matter what time of year you're actually seeing this video, if you have goals, specifically fitness goals, oftentimes those can come and then they kind of fall to the wayside. Is that how the saying goes? Well, we kind of forget about them. You know, life happens, things get busy, and these goals just continue to move away and away and away from us. But oftentimes we end up not sticking with our goals because they are too lofty of goals. And that's not a bad thing. But if we set these big goals, especially in the new year, like I'm gonna lose 50 pounds, or I'm gonna gain 50 pounds, or I'm gonna work out 6 days a week, or I'm gonna never eat sugar again. Well, those aren't very attainable goals. Those make things really complicated. So when people start, they stick with it for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, maybe go 30 days. You know, oftentimes there's so many different 30-day goals. And so people will stick with them for 30 days and then it all goes out the window. It all goes to shit. Well, let's not do that this time. Let's set attainable fitness goals. Let's set attainable goals in general when it comes to your health. So I'm gonna talk about 3 different ways to make sure your fitness goals are completely attainable this year, and so you stick with them. Let's get into it. Number 1, let's start with small mini goals. So oftentimes we set these huge goals that are really daunting, that we often don't start until January 1st because we think about it at the end of the year and we're like, oh my God, I don't wanna do it, I don't wanna do it. Okay, January 1st is here, I'm gonna do it. 10 days later, never mind, this sucks. It's something that you can't stick with. So setting small mini goals will be much more palatable, much easier to stick with. And then once you conquer one of those goals, you can start with the next one. So for example, let's talk about fitness. Instead of saying, I'm gonna work out 6 days a week, how about working out 2 to 3 times a week? And don't even say, okay, I have to work out 3. 2 to 3 times, life can get in the way. And make sure you're not setting a crazy constraint on that. 2 to 3 times a week, I am just gonna get some movement in. Maybe one day that's gonna be a walk, another day it's gonna be a hike, another day it's gonna be lifting, another day it's going to be going to a different type of fitness class, kickboxing, yoga, Pilates, whatever it is. It can be all kinds of different types of movement. It doesn't have to be this crazy sweaty workout or an hour to hour and a half long workout. It doesn't have to be that way. Set these smaller goals of working out, and working out can mean all kinds of different things, just movement. Now, once you conquer that goal, okay, we've started here, we've stuck with it for 14 days, maybe a month now. You've accomplished your goal. Now let's go into another one. How about the next goal, we make another small goal. What about drinking a good amount of water? 80 to 100 ounces of water per day. Most of us don't drink enough water if you're not paying attention to it. We're drinking coffee, we're drinking a different type of drink, or we're just not drinking much because we don't feel thirsty. But the truth is our body needs moisture, our body needs hydration, it needs electrolytes. And so make sure you're getting 80 to 100 ounces of water in. Now, that might seem like a lot. You can always start smaller. You've already accomplished your goal of moving 2 to 3 times a day. Okay, we're gonna set another small goal, 80 to 100 ounces per day, and you can mark that down so you can make sure you're sticking with it, set little reminders in your phone, and then after a while, it will become a habit that you just stick with. Okay, we've mastered 2 mini goals now. What about cooking for yourself? We're just trying to build a healthier body. So cooking for yourself is so important. You're gonna cook a meal at home for yourself 2 to 3 times in a week. So set out some recipe goals. Maybe there's something you found online. Maybe you purchased one of those healthy meal delivery services. So they deliver all the ingredients for you, and then you just have to chop, saute, and cook everything up in 30 minutes. But making sure you're cooking for yourself, it's gonna lead to more improvements in the gym, more improvements to your physique, more improvements to your mental health. It's gonna be really a big game changer. So start small. 2 to 3 times a week, you are going to cook, and you're gonna write that down in your schedule so you know you're gonna do this. You've already conquered working out. You've already conquered drinking water. Now let's conquer some of the food. Now I have one more idea for a mini goal, and these are just ideas. I'm just giving you some ideas that have worked for me in the past too. Now, another great mini goal is talking to yourself in a positive way. Positive self-talk can go such a long way in your physical and mental health improvements. So making sure that now you've conquered all these other things, what about looking at yourself in the mirror and giving yourself a compliment? Being proud of the time you've spent in the gym or going on walks or cooking for yourself or drinking enough water, writing down things you're proud of yourself. We don't do enough positive self-talk because we've been taught that, we're not supposed to be full of ourselves or be conceited, but we should be. We should be in love with ourselves. So talk to yourself in a positive way on a daily basis. That can be another small goal. All of these small goals will add up over time and are gonna get you to some of those physical goals that you have, whether it's to gain muscle, to gain weight, to lose weight, to have heavier lifts in the gym. All of these habits that you've stacked on top of each other over time will lead to a better outcome in the gym, in your body, in your brain. It will all add up. I think that's what's one of the most important things is habit stacking. You're stacking these habits on top of each other over time. It's not saying, okay, I have to drink 80 to 100 ounces of water. I have to work out today. I have to talk well to myself. I have to cook. All of those things seem very overwhelming. But if you start with one of those things, accomplish them. Okay, I'm ready to move to another. Then you move to the next. Then you move to the next. All those things will add up over time. Number 2, write down your goals every single day. Put them as part of your daily to-do list. If you have a workout plan that day, write it down. If you have a walk plan that day, write it down. If you're gonna cook, write it down. You might need to go to the grocery store. If you need to take supplements that are supporting your body, put that in your to-do list. Any of those things that you need to do on a daily basis, put reminders in your phone, put on your daily to-do list, write it down in your planner. However you plan out your day, make sure you fit those things into your day and you can map out your schedule. So if you're thinking, when am I gonna fit this workout in? Write out your schedule and find the little time that you can do it. Even if you only have 20 minutes is better than nothing at all. So make sure you get that into your schedule so it's looking back at you and reminding you that today I'm gonna accomplish this. Now with writing down your daily to-do list, you have to remember you're not gonna always accomplish everything. Things are going to slip through. Whether you didn't get a good night's sleep last night, work got too crazy, you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling too sore, you have a baby crying, whatever it is, things will change around and your schedule will not go always how you want it to. You'll want to sit on the couch sometimes. You're going to overindulge. All these things are going to throw curveballs at you. So you have to be flexible and learn to adapt. So even though you've written down things in your schedule, just because it doesn't fit that day and it doesn't work out, or you got sick and you were sick for 2 weeks or whatever happened, doesn't mean it's thrown your plans off completely. You are just adapting. You are making a new road for yourself. So if you have to pivot and go down a different road, that's okay. These habits that have stacked over time will continue on even when you have bumps in the road. So learn to adapt and be flexible with changes. If you had planned to get 3 workouts in this week and it didn't happen, but you've been sticking with it for weeks on end, that's okay. 2 days of movement is better than no day at all. I think oftentimes we self-sabotage. We think, oh, I overindulged this morning. Say you had this crazy big breakfast. You went out to brunch, you had mimosas. Well, I've ruined the day, so I'm just gonna have whatever I want the rest of the day. That is such a self-sabotage viewpoint that so many of us have, and I have had in the past as well. But you just gotta adapt. Okay, I had mimosas out, I had a great time at brunch. Now I'm gonna shift gears a little bit, make sure I get lots of vegetables in. okay? I couldn't work out yesterday because I had a newborn at home and I was just so exhausted. So tomorrow I'm gonna set that time out to make sure I get a walk in. I'm gonna make sure I walk with my baby, even though I can't get into the gym. Whatever it may be, learn to adapt and pivot. Your schedule is not gonna always work out perfectly, but that doesn't mean that you can't continue to build these new habits in yourself and be flexible with them. I always try to remember that hating myself for missing something is not getting me anywhere. It's not progressing me in any capacity, but setting myself up for success for the next day will get me on a more successful path. So remember, if it didn't work out the day before, that's okay. It can work out the next day. And number 3, you ready for this one? You ready for it? Be patient, okay? Be patient. I think we often see social media or things online and these drastic weight drops or drastic muscle gain, and we think, well, if they can do it, we can do it too. But we don't see the sustainable part of it. Did that person who lost 50 pounds in 30 days, that's not good for your body, FYI. Were they able to sustain it? Because that's what's important. It's not dropping a ton of weight or gaining a ton of weight or changing this physique in an intense way and then you can't stick with it. It's all about sustainability. So being patient and understanding that results take time will set you up for success. So instead of having these short-term goals like, okay, I want to lose this amount of weight in the new year in 6 months, say, okay, I want to set these goals for myself, working out more, drinking more water, cooking for myself, moving more, positive self-talk. I want to set these things up for success. And so my big long-term goal can pay off later on. But don't put these time constraints on it. We often put these time constraints, I have to lose weight by then, I have to gain weight by then, whatever it is. We don't have to do that. You can set yourself up for success. So say your wedding is coming and maybe you want to lose weight for your wedding. Well, what about after your wedding? Don't you want to continue to feel good in your skin and move on a daily basis and eat these foods that help you thrive? And so maybe your other goal of creating a family, you're a healthy person for your family, both physically and mentally. It's all about patience. If you can get comfortable with the body changing on a regular basis, sometimes gaining weight, sometimes losing weight, sometimes gaining muscle, sometimes losing muscle, and not self-sabotage because you're not seeing the results that you want, the body will thank you back. Being patient and knowing that your body is going to look different than every single other person out there will help you be happy with all of the goals that you conquer along the way. You'll never feel like a failure because you didn't have this idea of what you should look like or when you should look like it. You just had the idea of drinking more water and eating better and working out on a regular basis or getting more movement in. All of those things will be much more fulfilling long-term, and then your body will change along the way. So be patient, be patient. Things take years, not just months, not just weeks, that's for sure, but years to see long-term sustainable changes. Make sure that your year is filled with goals that feel attainable. It's so easy to set those crazy lofty goals and then not stick with them. So what's the point in that? Create these small goals, write them down daily so you see them on a regular basis, and know that things take time. Look at it in any way. Your education took time. Building an income and buying a house took time. Finding the perfect relationship took time. All of these things take time. So we should treat our bodies the exact same way. Set those goals, write them down, and then be patient. All of those things will help you set yourself up for success this year. Now, I'd love to hear if you have any goals for the new year. Share them in the comment section below. My goal this year is just to continue to prepare my pelvic floor from birth, continue to work out on a regular basis, at least 4 times a week. Sometimes it changes, and to just move on a regular basis, get lots of walks in, drink lots of water, just care for my body in the best way possible. But my goal is to simply continue to move, to get stronger, and so I can take care of my daughter. But I want to hear yours. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. I have a few more videos I think you're gonna like.